Today we're going to be learning something. Let's check this out. So today I'm going to be teaching you how to tell a story with 5 W's and an H. Okay, so pretty much what you want to do is when you're telling a story, you want to let people know who the story's about. Instantly, you want to let them know who it's about, who's involved, what's going on. This is also a good way to get a hook. I would recommend doing all these within the first, if you can get them all done within the first minute, do it. If you can get them all done within the first 30 seconds, do it. Because people are going to be hooked into your story. Find out the who, okay? Who's the story about? Who's going to be in it? Who should be listening to it? Is also something you can tell at the beginning to get a hook, because if someone wants to follow your story and they fall in the category that you're trying to talk about, if you automatically tell them who it's for, they're going to be like, that's for me, I want to listen, and they're going to pay attention to your story. The where, the location, the what's going on, let them know what it's about. That fills them in, that gets them to be a part of the situation, and where to be. Not as important as the who, but if you let them know, it's going to be something that they might want to go to. Like if you're telling a story about a place that you've been, letting them know right away that, hey, you either want to go here or you don't want to go here because of this. And you let them know where that location is so that they know if they want to go or don't want to go to that location. If you don't have a what, you don't have a reason to film. The what is the story. It is the meat of the story. This is what happened. This is whenever you go through and explain it. This one is what you kind of set them all up, give them a little 1-2 sentences like this is what it's about. And then the meat of it is just going to be the what, like telling them what happened, where it was at, how it went. You know, this was my experience. Telling them the story. The what is the story that you're trying to tell. So that's the main one, and that will take up the bulk of your time and your story. The why is where you're going to get your comments. So if you tell them why you didn't like this story, why you liked it, why you did these things, and open up conversation, that's going to get people involved. That's going to get people talking, because if they go and do the same situation and they have a different experience than you, then they're going to get talking. And that's whenever what I've discovered is you want comments. Comments is just people talking back and forth. And then once you get that engagement, your videos normally take off, right? So the why is the reason people are going to talk. So you give them a reason to talk by telling your why of your story. So once you tell them the why of the story, that gets them involved. They're going to be talking back and forth. They're going to be commenting. Then your video is going to take off and be able to tell a better story, because people are getting involved in your story and wanting to be a part of it, not just hear about it, right? So everything else up to this point is just them listening. Here's where they get involved with the why you feel this way. And everybody likes their own opinion. Everybody wants to tell their own side of the story. So if you give your reason and then open it up to other people to give theirs, that's when you're going to get engagement. That's when you're going to get things rolling with your comments. And that's normally when videos start to take off. The when did it occur is also very important, because things change over time. So if you had a bad experience and you're telling a story about this, make sure you tell when, so that you can explain why this happened. So this poster's for my yearbook club, so a lot of it's about writing and different things like that. So the when for them is the year that we're in, so that people can look back and know what happened this year, right? The when you're doing your videos is going to be when you can explain to them, this is when this happened. So it could have gotten better, could have gotten worse. During this time of me filming is when this situation happened. So you went to a restaurant and you had a bad experience, you got food poisoning. Maybe that was before they fired their main cook and now they got a new chef, and people could come in the comments and tell you, hey, I know you did this video then, but it has changed because this, and this has changed, right? That also gets people talking in the why. So the last one is how. The how keeps people engaged and keeps people watching your video, because they want to know the details of how everything happened. This is going to get them really focused on listening to your video. They want to be a part of it. They want to know how you got to this point. They want to know what took you there. So giving a how is very important, because you're going to give background information, and you're going to you could go back a little bit at this point and talk about what brought you to this stage. How did you get there? How did you find yourself winning? How did you find yourself running a marathon? You know, you go back to the beginning, your first time trying to run any race. So like if you ran like a 5K or something, you could talk about how you started, you thought you were never going to finish that race, and then you kept on going. And you could just tell this how you started, and that lets people know why you feel this way and gives your opinion more validation and lets them know that you're a trustworthy source. So the how is giving them stuff that they can trust in. So you want people to trust you whenever they're watching your videos, because if they don't trust you, they're not going to do what you're talking about, or they're not going to continue to watch your video because you're not trustworthy. So giving them a good how is going to give them backstory of how they can trust you and how they can go forward and trust you as their source for information on this topic that you're talking about. So that is how you tell your story with the 5 W's and an H. All right, guys, that's all I got for today. Appreciate you being here. All right, I am officially done with the marathon that is posting on every single channel that I have in one day. 2 of the videos were partially edited, and then I finished those and edited all the others. So today I pretty much straight up edited 5 videos. Some were pretty long, all averaging around, I'd say 15 minutes. So took a while. It's 1 o'clock in the morning. I'm gonna go to bed now. Do work, do more, let's go, or something like that. I'm tired.